get it in pretty much live transcription to your phones if you'd like our presentation in another language. So that is there for you. Welcome. So I am Dr. Lazovic. I am incredibly proud to be the principal here at Ridge High School. We have an unbelievable team of faculty and staff here to support your kids. I can't believe we're actually here already talking to you as if next year's already upon us. We're halfway through. So hopefully you're enjoying your time at WAMS. As I said, I'm Dr. Lazovic. You're going to hear from myself. You're going to hear from Ms. Kristen Fox, who is our Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum and Instruction. You will also hear from Ms. Stephanie Smith, who is our Director of Counseling, and I'm going to introduce the Assistant Principal who will be traveling with you and your children for the next 4 years, Mr. Thompson, a little bit. So there's a lot that's coming out. What we do try and focus tonight on is what you need to know right now. We will be having later in the summer, far away from now, not only a new student orientation just for our kids, but also a new family member orientation. So we will re-welcome you to the building when it's a little bit closer. But for now, we met with your kids yesterday down at WAMS, and one of the things that I mentioned to them was, it's great to be thinking about the future always, but we don't want you to rush in your present. So enjoy the second half of being an 8th grader or having a child who's an 8th grader. Enjoy Ms. Hudock and the incredible staff down there. Just enjoy the time. We will be here when you're ready. So for tonight, we're going to help you plan as we look ahead and give you a little tidbit, little insight into what the high school is. I see a lot of friendly parent faces. So that means Sibley is coming up, which is exciting. We love that. So without any further ado, we're going to jump right in. I get to give you the overview, the big picture. Why is Ridge so special? I like to tell parents here, because I was not as bright as the parents here, and if children are here, students are here, you need to look at your parents and listen to what the principal's saying. Your parents were brilliant, and they care more about you than anyone else, because they, in their infinite wisdom, chose to live in Basking Ridge, which means that you get to attend Ridge High School. And I say that because I have worked in many states across the country. I have had, at this point now, every administrative job. I was a high school secondary teacher, and from there, I've worked the curriculum route through central office, upper administration, and building management. And I can tell you, working and consulting with districts, working in other districts, this is the single best school I've ever been connected to. And I have nothing to do with it. The staff is amazing. The people who have been here and come before us have built the community, set standards, built in supports, and just hired people who really care about kids. You may find some other schools that may be as good. You will not find someone better, another school better. And I say that with a great deal of pride because it is unbelievable every day we come to work. We love working with the students here. It is an unbelievably special place. We are incredibly strong at preparing kids academically. When they leave here, we're just having conversations again with some parents who have kids who have graduated. Kids come back saying they were overprepared. They didn't realize how well prepared they were when they get there. So academically, whichever route you're choosing to take, we have many pathways for students to get through high school here at Ridge. We will help you get prepared for what you want to do, students, after high school. We don't tell you what you want to do or what you should be doing. We help you prepare for what you want to do. That aside, we have just about every club activity or athletic sport that you could possibly imagine in a public high school in New Jersey or anywhere. Our forensics team has almost 280 kids. They're one of the best in the country. Our performing arts are like no other. Our visual arts kids are producing work that is displayed everywhere. Dance, just on and on and on. Ceramics, as well as the core academic programs, and some of our electives will knock your socks off when you read the program of studies. Those all come from our teachers and our curriculum supervisors. They are truly committed people, as you're going to see. So, what does success look like here? You have to define that for yourselves. Our job is to make sure you have everything available, and we can get those resources to you, and we teach you how to, students, self-advocate and get those resources set up for yourself so you can set your own goals based on who you are, who you want to be, what you want to accomplish, and we are here to support you as you do that. You're going to hear a lot about process. We are for New Jersey, medium-sized district, medium-sized high school, medium to large. We try and make sure that all 1,650 kids have exactly what they need. We come to work every day to try and make sure that none of the 1,650 are not getting exactly what they need, but we need your help. So you're going to get a lot of information today about the first steps, the right now steps, in setting up a schedule for freshman year that is right for you. And what we just ask, and you'll hear Ms. Fox say, you'll hear Ms. Smith say as well, you really have to put the work in to decide what is right for you, for your child and students, what is right for you. You're going to have lots of people here to talk to. You're going to have folks at home to talk to. But we are all trying to listen to who you want to be, what it is you want to study, and how we help you get to where you want to go after you enjoy your 4 years here at Ridge. So, students, focus on people. We're going to talk about who's in the building, and you're going to get to meet a ton of people. It may seem a little daunting. I tell you, students, the building has grown over time. It's not necessarily the most elegantly laid out building. Trying to get from the 700 to the new gym can take some doing. Students figure this out in days. We have adults who still don't know the whole building, but students figure this out in days. So if you're sitting here, guys coming from WAMS with its straight lines and its lovely, elegant boxes, that's not Ridge, but you will figure it out, I promise you. In WAMS, we have a team structure. So you've got a counselor, you've got an administrator, you've got teachers who all work with the same group of kids. Right? They talk about you, they support you, they see you regularly. Here at Ridge, we have the same people. You're going to see the same titles, same idea. But it's up to you to build your team. Get to know your counselor, get to know your administrator. Work with those people, with your parents to pick the right schedule, and then be a self-advocate and get out there and really connect with your teachers. Try new things. Like I said, we have hundreds of clubs and activities. I'm going to talk about opportunity period. So many chances for you to get involved. I'm going to go over very briefly a day at Ridge, so you can sort of see how it's different. It'll make more sense when you get here, but it is definitely a different move from WAMS when it comes to schedule. And we'll talk briefly about communication, parents and students. The most important thing is you're informed, and we try and put information in 16 different places so that you get used to looking for it where it's comfortable for you, and that way you always know what you need to know when you need to know it. And you start to build confidence that I don't have to remember everything for 6 months. I just can go back to the website, and there it will be. So, without any further ado, focus on people. We focus on the students, and we ask the students to try and focus on the people around them. Self-advocate is starred there, and I keep saying that because that is our #1 job, to help you recognize that you are a strong, wonderful person, and that you can determine where you want to go, and you have the skills to get there. Building your team. Much like WAMS, as I said, teachers, coaches, club advisors, your school counselor. You will have one school counselor who will be with you for all 4 years. We have student assistance counselors, just like at WAMS. CST members, Child Study Team, if you're coming up with a 504 plan or an IEP, we are here to help. We make sure we get to know everybody as individuals, and all these people will help. I mentioned our grade level administrators, and I'll meet one in a second, but we have 4 assistant principals, one for each grade level. They stay with the grade, so you're going to be getting an assistant principal who currently has the seniors. He's graduating his class and will be looping back around to pick you up and stay with you for the next 4 years. The most important people in the building are our office staff members. So secretaries, support staff, campus monitors, get to know them. They will know you by name, but they make the building run. They're the glue that holds everything together, and so learn about these people, make them your best friends. Parents, they're front lines, so they'll be the first people you talk to when you call or email. And they care greatly about this community, every single one of them, about this building and about the children who walk the halls. So they're going to be here to help anything you need. And obviously, there's that one at the bottom. He's okay too. Our assistant principals, if you've been here before, this is next year's setup. Ms. Howarth will have our seniors, Mr. Fackelman, our juniors, Mr. Graber, our sophomores, and I'm going to introduce to you right now, he's going to introduce himself, Mr. Thompson, who has been here as an assistant principal, has been through this multiple times, and he's more than excited to help shepherd you guys through your 4-year journey. Mr. Thompson.
Hello, hello. Upcoming freshmen, it was great to meet you yesterday. I am not going to take up too much time, but I just want you to share with your parents the 5 tips from the current seniors that they had for freshmen. It was pretty interesting. I'm not going to share. Maybe I'll share one. One of them, the last one, was be yourself, be kind, and be respectful. You're not going to figure it out in a week, like Dr. Lazovic alluded to. It takes a little bit of time, but you figure it out quicker than adults. But it's going to be great. It's going to be a great 4 years. It's going to go by really quick. And don't forget about freshman orientation. It's really important, and I hope to see you there. Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Thompson. Just a list of people whom you will get to know. Our supervisors, as you'll notice, our assistant principals double as supervisors as well, but we have administration assigned to every department, parents especially. We always ask you start with the teacher. Following the teacher, then it's the department supervisor and eventually building administration, but you will get answers. There will be bumps along the way. Bumps happen. That's okay. We always assume that everyone is there with the best interests of the students in mind. And that's how we're going to work with you every single day. So as you need things, whole group of people that are going to be able to help as we go. So, students, Day at Ridge. We talked a little bit about this, but get a little more into it now. Athletics, like I said, sailing, skiing, basketball, football, fencing, you name it, we have it. Dance team, if you're interested, get involved. And if you haven't tried something before, try it now while you can. You know, get out there, and we have them here for you. So give it a shot. I do want to talk, though, about your rotate and drop. Just like other high schools and like the middle school, you'll sign up for 8 classes. 8 classes. But, as I mentioned to the students, I'm going to show you in a second, you're only going to take 6 of those a day. In the middle of our morning rotation, 3 classes in the morning, and our afternoon rotation, 3 classes in the afternoon, we have a unit lunch. We are, yes, that much fun here that every single person in the building has an hour off in the middle of the day for lunch. And when I say off, self-advocacy, it's your choice as a student. Sometimes you'll be pulled for labs and things like that, so you're not losing class time, but we have opportunity periods where the teachers are offering activities that are not connected to the curriculum. If we don't have an opportunity that you're interested in, you let a teacher know and we'll make one. Kids get to make sure they can see their friends because everyone's off at the same time. We have outdoor activities. I'm the administrator assigned to outside, so anytime 32 degrees or higher and no precipitation, we are outside. And the rule, students, just so you know, when Dr. Lasvik is on your field, whatever sport you're playing, he's on the offense automatically. And so we go from there. So we have a good time outside. Spike ball, football, frisbee, soccer. The kids are out there taking advantage of that, and kids are selecting different things every single day. It's also a time to see your counselors or get extra help from teachers. So if you got things packed before school and activities packed after school, you have an hour in the middle of the day to help offset those things by getting ahead on homework, relaxing and seeing your friends, getting outside, as I mentioned. We have picnic tables and the rest as well. Just taking a break if necessary, or continue with some of that work that is hard to fit in other places because we are so busy all the time. This is what your schedule will look like. We work on a 4-day rotation here. And again, students, you learn this very quickly. Adults, we'll get there. But students very quickly have no problem knowing it's an A day, a C day, and exactly what that means. The time blocks are exactly the same. We have 3 blocks in the morning, as you can see, that unit lunch in the middle, and then 3 blocks in the afternoon. You have 8 classes. 4 of them rotate through the morning, 4 of them rotate through the afternoon. 1 of them drops every single day. So you only have 6 classes in a given day. So as you are preparing your homework, your testing schedule, things like that, you are never jammed up with your entire slate of courses on any given day. So as you can see from this, a student has the 8 classes on the left-hand side: English, social studies, math, etc. They're different colors to help you see it. On the A day, though, English class falls first block. The very next day, which is a B day, you see how English moves to the 2nd block? And then your C day, it moves to the 3rd block, abutting lunch, and then it drops, and on D days, you don't have English. And that's how the class, not only do we rotate through the days, but the courses rotate either in the morning or the afternoon, so you don't have the same class every day first block, or every day last block, or every day right after lunch, or every day right before lunch when you're starving. Make sense? As you live it, you'll start to recognize exactly how it works. And a lot of feedback when we made this switch from students. Number 1 piece of feedback is they love unit lunch. But number 2, they said they could breathe a little bit more because they were focused on 6 rather than 8 on any given day. All right? The classes are longer. So we get to spend more time each day in fewer classes, diving more deeply with our teachers and our peers into the content of each class. And that's how we run our rotate and drop. Last piece for me, communication. There's going to be a lot all the time. When you come during new family orientation, you're going to hear my mantra, which is go to the website. If you want to know what the real information is, go to the website. Our PTO is amazing and does an incredible job of helping share information. They're on the website. We post that information there for you, so if you want to get it from the source and know what actually is the truth, this is what's going on at Ridge High School. We send a Friday folder message like every other building. You can read it and it's saved so that you can go back to it at any point in time. It's also connected on the website. Ask questions early, students especially. Ask early, don't wait till after the fact, all right? Build our communication skills. Everyone's here to help. As daunting as some people may seem, we try and be as approachable as possible, but get out there and ask your questions. And get involved, students. Try new things. We just had one of our staff members sharing with students, Mr. Graber, today. We just had an unbelievable basketball game yesterday. Came from behind. It was an incredible win. It's not just for the basketball team and the parents of people who play in the basketball team. It's for the entire community. Come to a show. Come to a concert. Parents, get involved. You will have ample time to sign up for the PTO. Get in the building. We have all sorts of opportunities where we ask for volunteers, where you can come in the building and see the kids, your children and their friends and everybody else, and the building in action. It's quite a sight. But we ask you, please, please, please get involved. You're going to see many more times on the right-hand side. Our academic planning site is open. Ms. Smith is going to talk about it. Our information hub is always open for up-to-date information. In our counseling site with their multiple 10-step plans by year, so you can plan out your freshman, sophomore, junior, senior year. Those of you overachievers, you can read and look at the whole 4 years right now, but it will be there for you to help you along the way whenever you need it. I mentioned Friday folders. You're already used to if you're at WIMS, Genesis. School Messenger is old now. We've moved to ThrillShare. I have to change the slide. But either way, you want to make sure your emails are up to date. We try not to send too many. We really do. I know you're going to laugh when you see how many we send, but that's a smaller amount than we have to. Students, this one's for you. Mr. Fackelman told you, Ms. Smith told you yesterday. Whether you do now or not, we need you to start checking your email once August hits. Even if it's just once a day, make sure you're checking your email, because we will let you know when things are coming up. All right, we will let you know, but you got to read your email so that you're in the know. All right. That said, I'm super excited, but I'm going to turn it over to Miss Fox, who's going to start walking you through exactly what you need to think about now as you get ready for next year. And then I will come back and see you guys at the end. Thank you all. Ms. Fox.
Thank you, Dr. Lazovic. Hi, everyone. Wow, what a great crowd. Thank you for coming out. I'm very excited for my part of tonight's presentation. My job is to talk to you about programming. All of the things that are before you next year, most importantly, and for the next 4 years. So programming in terms of what our requirements are, but also opportunities for you as you make your way through Ridge High School. I will talk about these things in the next few slides. So in order to get a diploma from the state of New Jersey and Bernards Township, these are the course requirements and attendance requirements and assessment requirements that you have to meet. This is spelled out for you very carefully over 4 years, and your counselors work with you to meet these, and you have no problem meeting these requirements. But it is, good for you to realize that there's 4 years of English and 3 years of science and 3 years of social studies and so on. Those are the required courses. The minimum number of credits is of 121. You will exceed that most likely with your electives and other courses that you might be interested in taking beyond that. There's an attendance policy that's important for you to adhere to. And there is a graduation assessment required by the state of New Jersey that you take in your junior year. The state has a habit of changing that periodically, so we will keep you informed as you get closer to your junior year about that, but certainly our programming prepares you for that assessment in your junior year. We're focused tonight a lot on what you need for next year, for right now, 9th grade. And so Dr. Lazovic just talked to you about your rotate and drop and how you will take 8 courses. So those 8 courses leave you with just a couple of slots in your schedule to think about. But you will take an English course, a social studies course, global history, a mathematics course, a science course, world language, health and physical education, and that leaves 2 slots in your schedule for electives, 2 slots. So one of those slots can be an elective or a study hall, and the other slot is another elective. Now, within those electives, you do have semester and full year courses that you can consider. Ms. Smith will talk about that a little bit more in a minute, but your focus going into 9th grade is thinking about those elective slots and how you want to fill those, as well as for those required courses where you're qualified, what level you want to take the course at. We'll talk about that in a minute. Our focus is ninth grade. As Dr. Lazovic said, finding your way, finding your best path, and we really mean that. We really want you to take courses that you're excited about and that you're prepared for. And so the focus is on ninth grade, and as I just said, your options as a ninth grader are more limited and more things open up to you as you become an upperclassman. But I'll talk about a few of those things that are a little bit further down the road, so you can keep a few of them in mind as you go through high school. Option 2 are alternative ways to earn credits on your high school transcript. And there are a couple of types of option 2. One that most people have heard about would be option 2 for physical education. That is primarily intended for Ridge athletes, and so you would earn option 2 credit in PE while you are participating in athletics. There are also some off-site programs that qualify for option 2 in physical education. You're not qualified to take that as an incoming freshman, but that would open up to you in 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. The other types of option 2 are remediation, should you find the need for that over the course of your 4 years. But also, maybe you want to earn credit in a course that we don't offer at Ridge High School. That's another pathway and option for students to consider. And is also used by shared time students at VOTEC, so I'll talk about that. So Somerset County Vocational Technical School is an option for students in either full-time capacity or shared time, where you spend half of your time at Ridge and half of your time at VOTEC. You'll notice here that the deadline for VOTEC was last Friday, so I shared this with you just to let you know that, one, they are here tonight in the gym, so when you go to the second portion of tonight, you can ask them any questions about their programming if you're curious, and you could certainly apply for next year. And there's also the possibility that some seats would open up in programs and it would be available for next year on a limited basis as well. But if you have any interest at all in that kind of programming or high school experience, there's a video linked here and their website to tell you more about the kinds of programming available through VOTEC. This summer financial literacy option, this is available to students going into 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. I tell you about it now, so you could consider it if you're interested as you plan your ninth grade. You could take financial literacy as one of your elective slots. It is a graduation requirement, it's on the list of requirements, and it is available to take at Ridge during the year, and you could take it in ninth grade and complete that requirement. However, there's a couple other ways to earn those credits. One of them is summer financial literacy opportunity. Students might take advantage of this if they're looking to maximize their opportunities to take other courses, and this would allow them to have one more slot in their schedule over the 4 years. But there's things to keep in mind if you're interested in this. It is an online course, but it is a full course and it's rigorous and it keeps you very busy, number one. Number two, you are required to be present 2 days during the summer for the assessments in the course, and there's no exceptions to that. So your schedule does have to align with that course if you're interested in that opportunity. If you are, all of the information will come out next year at this time in the program of studies about how to apply to that. So I said one of the 2 things you have to consider is what level you're interested in taking your required courses at, depending on what you're qualified for. So I'm just going to talk briefly about what those levels are throughout our programming. We have 4 different levels of programming. You'll see here college prep, enriched, honors, and advanced placement. The 4 levels are available in a couple of the programs, 3 departments, 3 levels in others. So I'll talk about that and hopefully make a little bit more sense. But college prep is the level that prepares you for college. It's rigorous, but you can expect more guidance from your teacher. You can expect 20 to 30 minutes of homework per night in each academic course. And in the science department, you would not have any additional lab time in the weekly rotation. And what that means is that at the enriched honors level of science, you spend half of the lunch period once every 4 days. So once in the cycle, rotation, you would stay in your science class for an extra 25 minutes or half of the unit lunch for some extra lab time. At the CP level, you don't have that extra time, so you wouldn't be coming out of unit lunch if you're at the college prep level of science. At the enriched level, you are, and so it actually earns an extra credit in that science course. So it's a 6-credit course instead of a 5-credit course. There's also an enriched courses in mathematics, so just mathematics and science. The pacing is similar, but it becomes a little bit more complex, a little bit more content might be covered, a little bit more homework might be expected in independence. And that's the enriched level. Honors is available in all of our departments, and that is going to be a higher weighted course. There will be more homework, additional independent work required, and some summer assignments in honors courses. Advanced placement courses are equivalent to a first-year college course, and one of the primary purposes of the course is to prepare students for the AP exam in May. So you spend some time in class preparing to take that exam. It is a weighted course. There is a significant amount of independence required, and there's a summer assignment in, I think, all of the AP courses. Now, you would find that information about summer assignments and expectations in the course by looking through the program of studies, which Ms. Smith will talk about in more detail in a minute. So every year we do make some changes and update our programming based on a lot of things, including interest of the students and even staff, courses they're interested in offering. So for people who aren't new to Ridge High School, we put all of those changes on one page to make it easy for you on this page called Amendments at a Glance. It's linked to this presentation, but it's also found in the program of studies. I'm going to go through the changes that are most relevant to rising freshmen. In the English department, those changes are more for seniors. There's dual enrollment opportunities for students in their senior year in English now. In mathematics, the changes, there are 2 new courses. One is enriched geometry, at that enriched level, and an honors advanced topic in computing for upperclassmen. Prerequisites changed for our seminar courses. Level change criteria for Algebra 3, so these are more for upperclassmen. And then for students in 10th grade, depending on your math aspirations and your math track, there is an opportunity to double up in geometry and Algebra 2. And the primary reason for doing that would be if your goal was to take calculus before leaving high school. So again, the right track for people, this is one way to get there if it's something that would be the right path for you. In science, these changes do apply to upperclassmen, physics changes and updates in the pathways to take some of the upper level courses. Social Studies is offering a new dual enrollment course, which is a course that students take at Ridge High School, but earn credit in this case, Kane University. You can earn 3 credits from Kane University. So we have a few of those opportunities that are primarily for upperclassmen. In visual and performing arts, some prerequisites changed in AP courses. The title of Dance 1 changed just to reflect the content that's covered in that course. So it is musical theater dance based on student interest. That's just going to be the focus of that course. And in world languages, we've offered some new programming for heritage speakers, so native speakers. If you're a native Spanish speaker, this course might be of interest to you. There would be a placement exam. We now offer it at level 1 and level 2, and they are honors courses. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Smith, and she'll explain to you how to go about all of this.
All right, thank you, Ms. Fox. So as she said, Dr. Lazovic gave you a picture of the day at Ridge High School and the lay of the land. She gave you all of our curricular updates and our academic programming, and so my job is to tell you exactly what you need to do from here. So to get you started, the first thing I'm going to do and show you is our academic planning website. We built an entire website to help support you with this process of choosing your courses for next school year, with all the considerations that you need to have right here on this site. So this is going to load. This is the link that I sent all of you when we sent our reminder about this evening. So we will send it out again so that you have this. But what I encourage you to do from here is, as a family, go through this website. Everything that you need, all the steps that you need to take, we have outlined in what we call our 5-step checklist. Step number 1, this is what we reviewed with your students yesterday when we were at William Annan. We want you to read the program of studies. Mrs. Fox gave you the overview of all of our academic offerings. We want you to read that document. It's a big document. Understand particularly the first 15 pages, which highlights the timelines that you have to make decisions related to your student's schedule. If you want to change your mind, when are the windows of opportunities that you have to make changes to that schedule? We want you to read the amendments at a glance, particularly, just to reiterate what she said, particularly for our families that are returning. This is not your first time with a rising freshman. Look at our updates to the programming so that you're familiar as your student progresses along their years at Ridge High School. Step number 2, have your students talk with their current teachers. So I'm referring to their 8th grade teachers. Their 8th grade teachers are making the recommendations for course enrollment for next year. Those courses and their recommendations are going to be in the Genesis portal when I open it up for you to make your course selections. So if your students or you have any questions about why they might be recommending the CP level, why they might be recommending the honors level, ask them, have conversations with them. It's a good start at this point in 8th grade for you to be encouraging them to approach their teachers directly to have that conversation. Number 3, you all get an A+ for this because you're here. This is attend our programming. I'm going to click on this flyer. This also we sent out, and I'll review these dates for you. We launched our website last week. Take some time to go through the materials. You're here tonight for academic planning night. You'll leave us. You'll go through the gymnasium. You'll meet with teachers and supervisors of the various courses and get a chance to ask your questions and learn some more. In 1 week, my team of high school counselors will come down to William Annan and we will open it up for all of you. You are welcome to come. Your students will stay in class. We met with them yesterday. But you as parents, if you are digesting everything today, you're talking as a family, and you have more questions, come next week on February 4th from 9 to 11. The administrative team, Dr. Lazovic, Ms. Fox, and I, and the high school counselors will be there to answer any questions that you have. That is an optional event that you may attend. This flyer also highlights our counselor meetings, which I'll get into in a minute, and our upcoming programming related to freshman orientation. Step number 4, you're going to plan to make your schedule selections. How you do that, we have a few resources. The first I want to point out is a time management tool. We encouraged the students yesterday to take into consideration the full picture of their day. We want them choosing classes and creating a class schedule that's what we call the best fit for them. We want them to really feel confident and strong in what's the best fit for me. It might be different, and it likely will be different from what is the best fit for my friends, and that's okay. It's your journey at high school. Own that journey and make the choices that are the best fit for you. So when I say best fit, what does that mean? That means taking into consideration all of your responsibilities in and outside of the home, your extracurriculars, everything that you're involved with, your total life picture. What is a realistic picture where you are challenging yourself with your course of study, but you are also setting yourself up for success so that you have a strong transcript when it comes time to apply to colleges? Use that time management tool as a family to help guide those conversations. There's another link below there called the 4-year summary. You don't have to complete that, but it is often helpful. And I do receive feedback from families that it is helpful to sort of map out visually what the next year might look like, sophomore year, junior year, senior year. What are you interested in as you read the program of studies? What are you looking forward to? You don't have to commit to anything. It's just sort of a draft. The next 2 documents, I will click on the 9th grade course selection sheet. We create this to really simplify the options for you. You are choosing courses for the 9th grade, and so we have here on this sheet what your options are in each of the various departments and the content areas. I will tell you that we build the Genesis portal to mirror this sheet so that when you log in as a family to Genesis, your options will be limited to what freshmen are able to choose. So you can use this as a working draft as you have the conversations about your student's schedule. And then once you're ready, step 5. So on February 10th, we will open the portal. What precedes that is the marking period 2 report card. So once those grades are live, you have your marking period 2 report card, you know your grades and your standing. Then on February 10th, the portal opens for you to make your course selections. Your child's current 8th grade counselor, either Mr. West or Miss Alves, will reach out to your child to schedule a meeting. That meeting is between them and their school counselor. So I told them yesterday they should come prepared to the table. They should come prepared, meaning that their courses are already imputed into Genesis, so that way they are maximizing the time with the school counselor. They can ask questions. The counselor can verify that all graduation requirements are set and that they're feeling really good about their schedule in Genesis. How do you do that, you ask? We have instructions step by step. So these instructions tell you, starting February 10th, exactly how to log in and work through Genesis and make your selections. If you are eligible for a course, you may select it. We also design Genesis so that if you are not eligible, meaning that your grade precludes you from choosing such a level as honors, then you will not be able to select that course. So we try to make it as foolproof as possible to help you really make decisions that are accurate. You can also click a link here if you would like a visual walkthrough of how to do this. It's pretty simple once you get in there, but for your first time, if you'd like to watch a video, then you can watch a video where we walk you through the various screens. Also on this website, continuing down, we have our program of studies, our amendments at a glance. We'll post this presentation here, and then those instructions I just referred to. Tonight, as I mentioned, in the gymnasium, you will really enter a fair style event where you'll be able to peruse through different tables and talk to different teachers and representatives from various courses. If you would like to review anything further or just revisit anything that you may have learned or be interested in, each of the department area teachers and supervisors have created a video library. And so you can click here on this website and you can click through each department. They have a slide deck and a video of the information that they'll be sharing tonight. My team has also created an FAQ. So all the years that we've been doing this transition, this important transition from middle school to high school, what are the frequently asked questions that we receive? So take some time to read through this document so that you feel really strong about some questions that you are likely to have yourself. The last part of this website is what we call the schedule modification forms. And so I'll get into this in a minute, but just keep in mind that this is where these forms are located. So we just took some time to review the 5-step checklist of what exactly you need to do from here as a family. I want to make a point about alternates. What are alternates? The students should remember this from yesterday when I talked to them. But when you're in Genesis, you will be prompted, and when your student is meeting with their school counselor, they will be prompted to select what we call alternate electives. These are your backups. I need to make a schedule for every freshman, every sophomore, every junior, and every senior. And the way in which we approach that is that seniors get priority naturally because they need to graduate, then juniors, sophomores, and freshmen. So particularly from this class, to make sure that everybody here is feeling really good about the start of school, help me help you and provide backup alternates. That means that if I cannot get you into your first priority elective, I'd like to know what you're interested in as a backup so that I don't have to just place you in an open course in August. So please consider those alternate electives, and it's the job of the counselor to make sure that every student is also coming to the table prepared with those alternates as well. You also need to keep in mind the Marking Period 2 report card that you just received, your grades, but also what we call your mid-year average. So the average of the first marking period grade with the second marking period grade, that simple average is your mid-year grade. That mid-year grade will be on your report card under the semester 2 column, and that's the grade that determines your eligibility for course enrollment at this point. So at this point, you might have the qualifying grade, the prerequisite, which is located in the course description in the program of studies. Read the grades that are required. It's right there underneath every course title. If you qualify for honors, for example, and you'd like to take the honors course, go ahead. If you don't qualify based on that mid-year grade, then you can't select it at this point in time. If you end up qualifying, though, at the end of the year, and we encouraged all the students yesterday to end strongly with 8th grade, if you do qualify at the end of the year, then you are eligible to complete what we call the change of course request form. So every student has until April 2nd to meet with their counselor and to solidify their decisions. So even if you have that meeting in February and something happens and you change your mind, that's okay. They just need to reach out to their 8th grade counselor, and then by April 2nd is the deadline to lock in those schedules. From there, the administrative team, Dr. Lazovic, Ms. Fox, and I will be making staffing decisions and sectioning out who's teaching what, where, when. And so those numbers stay firm from April 2nd until the end of June. At the end of June, what happens? You get your final grades. And so if there are any adjustments that we need to make, if you are suddenly eligible, then you are able to fill out the change of course request form and say, I'm now eligible, I wasn't eligible mid-year, so please enroll me into this course. And then over the summer, my team of counselors, we work to readjust your schedule accordingly. You can also use this form to do what we call level down. This is totally appropriate, and it might be something that you would like to do at the end of the year. Maybe you qualified mid-year. Maybe you signed up for too many honors courses, and you'd like to make some adjustments. Maybe you change your mind, and you'd like to take honors in another area and CP in one. That's okay. You can level down, and this is the form on the website that you would complete at that time. You don't need to remember all of these details right now, because we will email you all of the details with the descriptions of each form at the end of the year. The second form you need to be aware of is the course appeals form. So as you're making your decisions right now, be thoughtful, be purposeful, because by and large, your student will be enrolled in the courses which they're selecting right now. We will keep those schedules. We do a great job at getting priority requests in and getting students what they want and locking them into that schedule. But like I said, there are some changes that do occur at the end of the year, one of which is a course appeal. So let's say that you did not qualify at the end of the year, and you still want to take that honors course though. So you need to do an appeal form. You need to let the administration know that you would like to appeal in. Maybe there's an extenuating circumstance, something else we should consider besides the qualifying grade. And so you'll write to us, you'll complete the form, and it'll be dependent upon what we call seat availability. If there's a seat in the course, based on those, all of the students who are already enrolled, then we may or may not approve that request. The deadline for all of those courses and forms, the schedule modification forms, is June 23rd. So after that June 23rd deadline, then, as I mentioned, the high school counseling team, we work to finalize the schedules over the summer. And then on August 26th at 12 p.m. exactly, we press the button and we release the schedules. At that point, you will not only have your course requests, but you will have the actual periods, the rooms, the teachers, so that way, as Dr. Lazovic illustrated for you, the rotate and drop schedule, you'll be able to now visualize exactly which courses will drop, which will occur on which days, which are in the morning, which are in the afternoon, and so on. But we know from experience that there are some times where you need to make some changes to your schedule even when school starts. Okay, we are understanding of this, and we have built 4 different windows for you to make these adjustments while still respecting the fact that there are almost 2,000 people, including the staff, who everybody needs a schedule and needs a place to be. And so we do have to adhere to these deadlines. We are pretty strict about this. So any requests to make a schedule change within the first 10 days of the school year, there are certain dates where students can level up, they can level down through the end of October. It's typically October 23rd. What I would suggest is that they contact their school counselor, they read their email. The administration will be constantly reminding students of these deadlines if they need to make any adjustments to their schedule. Any changes at that point in the year are still dependent on seat availability. So that's why it's important to be thoughtful about the choices that you're selecting at this point in the year. When school starts, you also want to be considerate of the fact that you now have a live high school transcript that, for those of you that will be applying to colleges, will eventually be seen by an admissions official. And so there are deadlines by which you will receive a W, which stands for withdraw on your transcript, if you are late in terms of meeting that deadline or withdrawing from a course. And so this is why you want to be really thoughtful about the deadlines for each class. So we talked about how to go about making your course selections. We talked about some of the nuance of the timelines and the deadlines. But my message for you in general, before you get bogged down in details, is just go back to the website. Read the materials, take some time, and everything is really laid out for you. We want you to feel strong and confident and happy about this process, and we want you to be excited about coming to Ridge High School. So with that in mind, we do want to remind you of some other events that are coming up. I mentioned that in 1 week's time, you are welcome. It is optional, but you're welcome to join us for a Q&A. We'll be there to answer any questions that you have at William Andon Middle School on February 4th from 9 to 11. You can simply come, sign in, and we'll meet you in the auditorium for Q&A. On February 10th, I'll open the Genesis portal so that you can make those course selections as a family, and then your counselor will reach out to your student at the middle school to have their individual meeting with them. That model is then replicated every year in high school. So every year in high school, they will then meet with their high school counselor, and so on and so forth in terms of making their selections for the next year. On April 23rd, we have our activities fair. So Dr. Lazovic mentioned how important it is to be connected to the school and to be involved, and so we encourage you to attend our activities fair on April 23rd to learn about the various extracurricular activities that are available to you. On August 25th and 26th, we have a program called Ridge Ready. So for our students with special education plans, this program helps to take 2 days to prepare them with extra support for adjusting to Ridge High School. Then on August 27th, all students are invited to freshman orientation. So please save the date. You don't want to miss that. It's a full days of activity to help students get excited. And to get here, at that point, they will have their schedule. And so they can do a walkthrough and be familiar with their actual footpath that they'll take when the doors open on the first day. We also have new family orientation that happens in August as well by the Ridge administration, and they will announce details for that for families later on. With that, we thank you for your time, and I will turn it back to Dr. Lazovic.
Did you get it all? You got it? We will keep working with you, telling you tonight's presentation focused on what you need to do now. So a lot of talk about requirements and scheduling. You're going to get to go next to the gymnasium, to the complete other side of the building, so you can see some of Ridge if you haven't before, and meet our teachers and meet our supervisors and meet a lot of our students and talk about the classes that you're going to have the opportunity to take next year and moving forward. When we meet again for new family orientation, we'll talk more about Ridge itself, the school, and what you can do when you're here. But hopefully tonight was the start. It's a lot. I get it. I have a child who's in college now and one who's still in high school. It's a lot. Things keep changing, and we are here to go through this with you to make sure you feel comfortable and confident, even when you're not feeling comfortable and confident. We will be with you right along the way for all 4 years. So with that, enjoy the rest of WAMS. Make sure you're nice to Ms. Hudak, please. And you just enjoy your 8th grade year. We're going to be excited to see you guys over the summer and welcome you here in September. Please enjoy the rest of the evening over in the gym. Thanks for coming out. How we doing?
Favorite part of the whole year. We get to do this the second time. I know. And we don't take nearly as long.
Mr. Barry, can you kill it? Hi, everyone. Nice job, Mr. Berry. We have a couple minutes before we get started, but as you see behind me, there's a QR code. We are a phone-free school during school days, but before and after school, obviously, phones are more than acceptable. If you are looking for this presentation in another language, you can get real-time translation. Just scan the QR code and it will pop up on your phone. You can choose the language, and I talk very quickly, so who knows what the translation will say, but it will say something. So if you're looking for that, you have a couple minutes to get that set up. We can talk fast. How are you? All right. Good evening, everyone. Did you have a good time in the gym? Yes? Fantastic. My name is Dr. Lazovic. I am incredibly proud to be the principal here at Ridge High School. My journey here was circuitous at best. I've worked in many, many states in education. I've been in education at this point 27 years. I know I don't look that though, right, Mr. Thompson? I was a secondary teacher of almost everything, and I've held pretty much every administrative position at this point throughout. So I've been curriculum, central office, upper administration, and now back in the building. And this is by far my favorite position, really because I think it is my favorite place. I say this every time for those of you parents here, you did a magical thing for your children by choosing to live in Berners Township, because this is by far one of the best schools I've ever been a part of or been associated with, and I have nothing to do with that. It comes from the incredible community and the staff that has been here for a long time, setting high expectations, building in all the different supports, and just hiring incredible people. And I say that now because I do believe once you get here, if you don't have a child here already, older sibling, that your time here, your 4 years, will bear that out, and you will realize, if I think back to what Dr. Lazovic said, back in 2026, he was right, didn't oversell it. We have incredible people here. We're thrilled to come to work every single day. So we're thrilled to have you. A lot is going to be thrown at you tonight. I know this is the second half, so sometimes it's hard to push through. Tonight's presentation focuses on what you need to think about now. Okay, there's a lot to think about when it comes to 4 years of high school. We're going to help you through it all, just not all tonight. Ms. Fox is here with us. She is our Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum Instruction. Ms. Smith is here. She's the Director of School Counseling. And special guest star, Mr. Thompson, is here, and I'll introduce him in a little bit. He's one of our assistant principals, and I'll tell you a little bit more about him. But we are here just to get the ball rolling now. One of the things, we were lucky enough to visit with all the students yesterday, that was only yesterday, down at WAMS, and we'll be coming back. Ms. Smith will share for parents as well. But when we talk to the students, one of the things I tried to really push home was that it's great to look forward. It's great to be excited. You have Ridge High School in your future. It's right there in September. But it's January. Don't rush your 8th grade year. Enjoy every day of it. You got a lot of fun things going on, a lot of hard work still to do, but a lot of milestones and things to enjoy. So don't look past them, parents as well. Enjoy your children where they are. Right now, finishing 8th grade. We will be here in the summer and in September to welcome you back to Ridge when it's time. So today is about preparation, but don't lose sight of where you are as we go through. So I'm going to give a little bit of an overview about Ridge, a little brief introduction. You're going to get a lot more of it in some of the other events as we get closer, but just a little taste of who we are here at Ridge. I'm going to talk about how you can be successful and enjoy your time both as a student and as a parent, family member, as your child goes through their 4 years of Ridge High School. The first thing I want to talk about is focusing on people. It starts with the students. Our whole job here is our students. That's our singular job. We are here to focus on each individual student, all 1,550 to 1,600 of them, to make sure that they're on any single given day getting exactly what they need when they need it. Mostly how they learn to feel good about themselves and to figure out what they want to accomplish, and then on their own how to go about building the right resources and support to accomplish those things. We have 4 years to make that happen. I have fun down the bottom. We want people to have fun while we work hard here. We absolutely do. But we smile at each other and we have fun while we're doing it. You can do both. They are not mutually exclusive. You can work hard, you can accomplish great things, and you can have fun while you're doing it. Notice the little asterisk, though, in the middle for self-advocate. One of our most important areas of focus with students is to help them learn to advocate for themselves. And so, you're going to see a lot of the same things, students and parents, that you recognize from WAMS, a lot of titles, a lot of positions and things like that exist at WAMS. They're arranged differently, and I'm going to talk about that here at Ridge, so that you can learn to advocate for yourself. So when you leave here, you know who you are, confident in who you are, you're happy with who you are, and you know that when I leave, no matter what it is I'm trying to accomplish, I can figure it out, because I have those skills. So, how's WAMS different from Ridge? Well, we have teachers here, believe it or not. I know you have them at WAMS. We have coaches and club advisors. We have our school counselors. You're going to be assigned a school counselor who will travel with you for all 4 years, just like you had at WAMS for those 3. Students assistance counselors, child study team members, and case managers, all that specialize with students who have different specific needs to make sure they have adults in the building that they can go to as a resource every single day. Our administrators, we have 4 assistant principals that I'm thrilled to work with every single day. Each one of them has a specific grade level assigned to them. They follow that grade level through all 4 years, so you can build a relationship with all 5 of us, but you get to really build a strong relationship with that assistant principal who's going to kick off your graduation ceremonies after 4 years, really having gotten to know you as individuals. Students, the office staff, they are the most important people after you in the building. Get to know them. They make the building run when you need help. They're going to be the ones that are first lines of defense. They are our secretaries and support staff, our campus monitors, folks in lunch, our custodial and our facilities. They're around all the time. They love their jobs because they get to work with you. Our office staff parents are usually going to be the first people you speak to when you have questions. You're emailing or someone or calling the school in some way, shape, or form. Every single one of them has been here a while, and they care a great deal about the community, Burns Township community, and they care about Ridge, and they care about every single student that walks through the door. So get to know them. They will help you when you're at your most lost in the sea of information, trying to get everything just right for you or your student. They are there to help you throughout. Obviously, the one on the bottom, he's okay too. He's here for you. And I'm out and about. You will see all of us, the APs and I, are out every single day. Our goal is to be with you and make sure you have what you need and you feel good about yourselves. All of these things you probably recognize from WAMS. Here's the difference. WAMS is a middle school model. Middle schools started in 1999, 2000. This idea that we build teams of adults around small groups of kids, so that those Those adults are regularly working with those kids every day. Counselors loop, the administrators loop, and the teachers work in teams and talk about the kids as a team all the time, so they're constantly connected. So you as students, we're surrounded by a network purposefully built to support you through those 3 years. We have the same people here, but we take a step back. Okay, we're the last chance before you're heading out to, whether it's college, job, something else beyond your K-12 education. So all the resources are here. But I go back to that self-advocacy idea. We take a step back. We're still talking about, we're there still to support you, but the first step really we hope comes from the student. Whether they need to talk to a teacher or a coach or an administrator or a counselor, we want you to learn to build those relationships on your own, set up the networks that you need so that when you leave us, you've had practice here for 4 years. And as you go out into the bigger world beyond Ridge, you can build the support structures and networks that you need to be successful in whatever area it is you want to be successful in. And so, same idea, a little bit different structure here at Ridge. Our assistant principals, this is next year's assignments by grade level. Ms. Howarth is currently with the juniors. She'll be with the seniors next year. Mr. Fackelman, his sophomores become juniors. Mr. Graber currently with our freshmen. Sorry. And then Mr. Thompson, he'll be teary-eyed in June when he has to say goodbye to his seniors, but then he gets excited right away to loop back around and pick up our freshmen. So Mr. Thompson got to come with us to meet the students, but you all get to meet him right now. Without any further ado, Mr. Thompson.
Good evening, good evening. Welcome back. It's nice to see you, upcoming freshmen again, and parents and guardians, welcome. Yep, I am seeing the seniors out. It's been a great class. It goes by so quick, as you're going to see. Upcoming freshmen, please tonight after the show, remind, or you can just tell your parents what the tips for success were, what the advice was from the current seniors, what it was for you, what it is for you moving forward. The last one that we talked about, there were 5, was, does anybody remember? Extra credit? No? Be yourself. You're not going to figure this out all in 1 week. Take your time. We are here to help you. We're here to help you become successful, and you will be. So with that being said, the last thing is, freshman orientation. Ms. Smith is going to talk about that and give that date out a little bit later. But freshman orientation is a great thing to come to. Get your feet wet with the building, meet some staff, walk around, get accustomed to the building. So it's going to be great. I'm excited to walk with you for these 4 years, and we'll see you then. Thank you.
So Mr. Thompson's been here a bit, and I use him as an example for tonight because he just is an incredible individual. And I think that you will, again, I'm not overselling that at all. He is 1,000% committed to the kids that walk through these halls. And I think you're going to find that as an example for everyone. And so as you're sending your children here and as students, as you're coming, get to know Mr. Thompson. Not only is he a wealth of knowledge, and he's going to be a support when you need him, because there will be bumps. Well, everyone in their 4 years, bumps happen. That's okay. That's why we're all here working together. But he's really funny, too. I think you're going to see that. So, and if you come in through the pack, depending on where you dropped off, every morning we have spots in the morning. He will be there playing his music, right, Mr. Thompson? Welcome you every day. Beyond the 5 of us, myself and the assistant principals, we have a team of stellar department supervisors. You may know some of them because most of them work K-12. You'll also notice that here departments are also overseen. Our APs have dual duty. They not just building administration, but curriculum supervisors' responsibilities as well. These names are here. They're on the website. You will get to know each of them. But again, my purpose in showing the slide is that if you have a specific need, always start with the teacher. When it has to be escalated for whatever reason, you need more information, etc., that's when you move next to a content supervisor. They're all listed on the website with contact information, emails, and phone, so that if you have questions, they have answers and they're here to help as well. Phenomenal team, you'll get to know them. So let's really quickly just talk about coming from Whams, straight 9 to Ridge. We have a rotating job schedule, and we have pretty much anything you could want to do in a public high school. I was amazed when I came here, not just looking at our curriculum and our program of studies and what we offer academically, but if you are a young person looking to get involved in pretty much anything that you're interested in, we have it here, and as the history will prove, if we don't, you can build it. And so if you're looking to get involved, which is what we want you to do, here's the place to be. We have over 200 clubs and co-curricular activities, and we have all but one possibly athletic team sponsored by the NJSAA. So if you're looking to be, whether it's athletics or any other kind of co-curricular activity, if you're looking to get involved, try it here. And if it's not something you've done before, we highly recommend try something new. They're here. Meet new people, go out, put yourself out there. Even if it turns out it's not something that's going to become a lifelong hobby, having that experience just broadens our own experience, and we want to encourage that. I'm going to talk about other opportunities we have to do that by talking about our schedule. So right now, you should be in straight 9. You go through the same schedule pretty much every day of the week. Students, yes, right? You're the same first period schedule, the same fifth period schedule, the same end of the day schedule. That is not how we work here at the high school. The first thing I'm going to talk about is how we're structured. 3 classes you'll take every morning. 3 classes you'll take every afternoon. And in the middle, as you see behind me, we have what's called a unit lunch. Yes, we are one big party school. Everyone has lunch at the same time. So if you're worried about not having lunch with your friends, don't worry about it. You will, because everyone eats at the same time. During that unit lunch, where everyone is off, and when I say off, you're going to hear about labs, bless you. If you take some of our higher level science courses and other music, things like that, they have an extension which kind of pushes in once a rotation, so you have extra academic time during lunch. I want to point out, anytime that happens, it only happens for half of the lunch. So when you hear people talk about labs, you never lose your lunch. You'll always have at least a half an hour to eat lunch every single day. When you don't have lab, you've got an hour. And in that unit lunch, we run opportunities. Okay? Everything from study spaces where you can find either a quiet place or a place to work as a team separately for academic work. So if you want to catch up on things, that's great. Supportive spaces, you can see your counselor, you can see teachers, you can see the administration to get help to answer questions, whether it's academic or otherwise. Time to do that built into the school day. And then connecting spaces. We have all manner of activities run by our teachers. You sign up for them. They are non-curricular activities. You're not graded. We have watching TV series and arts and crafts to I am the administrator who's assigned outside, out on Leaf Field, 32 degrees or warmer and no precipitation. We are open outside. We have picnic tables. We have all manner of elements and sporting equipment. The one rule, as kids find their way and they're playing everything from football and spike ball to soccer and ultimate frisbee, Dr. Lazovic is out there because that's my coverage for unit lunch. If I walk onto your area of the field, I am automatically on the offense. You can play me in, so if everybody else is covered, throw me the ball. This period of time, we found when we moved to the rotate and drop, was the #1 positive piece of feedback we got from the students having this unit lunch. Everyone is busy. This gives you what you need, and again, self-advocacy, what you need on any given day. That unit lunch is always there. If you need a break, you get a break. Everyone has a chance to eat. We want you to eat. I walk around the building making sure and always asking people, have you eaten? What did you eat? Was it good? That's there for you. But if you need some extra time to work with a teacher, it's built into the day. If you need some time to talk to your counselor, there's opportunity in the day. If you need to see some friends you don't normally get to see because you do different activities after school, there's a chance to see your friends. If you want to sit quietly and read for a little bit, you can do that too. The hour is there, and it's not programmed so that students can make their own choices on any given day. We know everyone's busy. So there's time to help academically, personally, socially, all built in there for you. You can have fun, you can take a break, you can do work. It's really up to you, but that's what the unit lunch is there for. This is what your schedule looks like. So we work on a 4-day rotation. Students, trust me when I say this, talk to the students. Within 2 days, you will have this locked down. Parents, within 2 years, you will have this locked down. But students will have this in 2 days. We work on a 4-day rotation. Just like every other public high school and just like at WAMS right now, you're going to take 8 classes, or you'll have 8 academic slots. You may take a study hall, things like that, but 8 academic slots. You will only meet with 6 of those classes on any given day. The classes are longer, so you can spend more time talking more deeply about fewer topics. You can worry about fewer tests on any given day and prepare your homework, learning time management, differerly because you're not going to have all 8 of your classes on any given day. Make sense? As you see this on the left-hand side, pretend that's my schedule. That's Dr. Lazovic's schedule. I've got English, I've got social studies, I've got math, I've got HPE. You see their color code to help them stand out. If I look at my A day, I start my day with English, go to social studies and then math, and then I have unit lunch. And then I progress to study hall, world language, and then my elective. That's what my A day looks like. If you look at my B day, language arts is now second block. If you look at my C day, it becomes third block, a budding lunch, and then on D day, I don't have language arts. It drops. Same thing happens in the afternoon rotation. I start with study hall, it moves to the middle of my afternoon, the end of my afternoon, and then it drops. Make sense? Trust me, students, it becomes very clear. And Genesis is your best friend because not only will it tell you your full schedule, but there's a view where you can click on any given day on the calendar. It will tell you exactly what your specific schedule looks like for that day, blocks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, with unit lunch in between. Make sense? Second most important piece of feedback we got from students when we switched. So our freshmen, sophomores, and juniors became sophomores, juniors, and seniors as they went from our straight 8, to a rotate and drop. After unit lunch, which was the most important piece of feedback we got, they said they could breathe. We run incredibly rigorous academic programs here to make sure that you're ready for the next level, but we want to make sure that you can process it all and we have time to enjoy the day and that it's easier for you to work hard on the things you need to work hard on. And so we slow it down, we reduce the number, and we work on this 4-day rotation. Sound good? That's how the schedule looks. As we get into it, the number one thing I want to talk to you about now before I turn it over to Ms. Fox and Ms. Smith, who will talk to you about building your schedules, communication. Talked about self-advocacy, so starting with the students. You need to make sure, I'm going to jump to the bottom there, that you check your email. We will tell you everything you need to know. We will be there along with you. But if you don't read it, we can't help you. Okay? Parents, little less of an issue normally, but just as a reminder, we will remind you of deadlines. We run a building with over 2,000 people. It's difficult, complicated, we try and make it easier for you on the front side. On the back side, it's all a big mess and we figured out. So there are deadlines. We will tell you when they are. Please, 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 whether it's the Friday folder or specific emails or our calendars or the website, it's all the same information. We need your help. We need you to know the deadlines and we'll tell you when they're coming if you read the email. If you don't, what you're going to hear is, did you check your email? Students especially, it's going to come from teachers as well. You know, it's a means of communication that's very important. Still moving forward. I know Snapchat's cooler, but email, very important. Students, it's very easy to self-advocate if you're in front of things. Don't wait until after. You always, always, always ask for help here. You have a question, ask it, okay? But don't keep it to yourselves and don't wait until it's too late. Parents, the same. It's very difficult. We set the deadlines not to be mean. It's how we can manage and operate the building. Once it passes, it's very difficult to go back. So if you have questions ahead of time, ask them. We're here to answer them. Everyone will greet you with a smile, and we will answer the questions over and over again. We'll help you find the information that you need. Bless you. Going around. Stay informed. Read and ask is there. Students, I mentioned this before, get involved. Part of getting involved is going to things that are not yours. So you're not in the musical, but go to the musical. You know, I'm not in the cheerleading team, go watch their competitions. I don't fence, do that too. I didn't join the forensics team because I do something else. Stop it and see some of their competitions, which you can do. Get involved with the things that are here at Rich. It's an incredibly rich high school community, and part of being part of the community is not just what you do, which is going to be great, but it's experiencing what other kids do and supporting them as we hope they support you. So get involved. That doesn't end with the students though. Parents, family members, we have an unbelievable PTO here. Never experienced a high school PTO like we have here. Most districts I get to, by the time we get to high school, everyone's pulled in a million different directions, and there's not really a solid, we have an unbelievable PTO. Join it, get involved, and get into the buildings. Not just at these other events, and bring your kids to events. Go see a band concert or an orchestra. They're unreal. You don't need to go pay for Lincoln Center, just come here. But bring your kids and come with your kids. And with the PTO, there are a million different opportunities to volunteer during the school day. They're always looking for help, and so are we. You guys help make the building run, but then you get to see, you know, kind of behind the scenes. Really embarrass your kids by being in the hallway. And seeing what life is like, because it's pretty fun and exciting during any given school day. But please, 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 don't wait for 4 years to go by. Get involved as much as you possibly can. It's really just a wonderful place to be, and we want you here. So please, please, please do that. 3 big pieces, websites. You're going to hear from Ms. Smith about our academic planning site and our counseling site. They're up there so that you can go to those sites when you need information. Didn't remember what a date was, what a deadline was, what it said in the program of studies. It's always there to support you. It will always be there. The same as our information hub. And you will hear from me when we have our new family orientation night. The number one thing you should walk away with from that night is the website. Go to the website. That's where you will find all of the appropriate, accurate information so that you can be informed ahead of time and just feel good and confident about what's going on here at Ridge. As the other schools, if you've been in other schools, WAMS included, there's a Friday folder that goes out every week. It is saved on the website, so you can always go back to them. It's one page. I've never had a Friday folder that was more than one page. The font may be 0.6, no. One page. We keep it to one page, and important dates, links to information, etc. If you want to know what's going on, take 10 minutes and read that once a week, and then check your email. Genesis, obviously, we do a lot of communication through Genesis. Make sure that your information is up to date. And did not switch the slide, but this year we switched away from School Messenger to ThrillShare. Just make sure that your communication information is up to date, phone numbers, cell phones, things like that. While we are a phone-free building, we certainly encourage parents, if you're comfortable and your children have cell phones, to enter their phone numbers into Genesis, because we do send blasts, especially text messages, because it seems to be one of the few things they read, to their phones. So once you get to high school, while we can't have phones during the day in school, we do send messages at night, after hours, etc., as reminders, because we are trying to do our due diligence with all the things going on. We know it's a lot, reminding you what's when, where, how, etc. So all of those things, just making sure that you are in the know. As you're going to see from our next two presenters, there's a lot. We're here for you the entire way. Okay? You may not get everything in a first time. We tell you multiple times, and we put it on a website so you can read it again at your leisure. A lot of people take out their phones and take pictures of what's behind us. You don't need to, because it's going to be where? Exactly right. As soon as this evening is over, we post it. So all the information, we don't hide it. We want you to know. All right? I will come back at the end just to give you a last wish you well. But again, we are really excited to have you here. And without further ado, we're going to move into how can we get ready right now for September with Ms. Fox. Ms. Fox.
Thank you, Dr. Lazovic. Hello, everyone. Really great to see you. I'm very excited. I have the honor and the privilege of talking to you about programming and all of the courses and opportunities you have before you for the next 4 years. So this slide just has a picture of the program of studies. You'll hear about this from myself a little bit, from Ms. Smith. This is an important document. It's kind of long, but it has all of the information we're talking to you about tonight in it, in much greater detail. So I'll talk to you about things that you're required to take to graduate, but also some opportunities you have before you over the next 4 years, as well as what's new for next year. In order to earn a diploma from Berners Township and from the state of New Jersey, these are the requirements. So you'll see there's a lot of courses, and again, that program of studies explains what those offerings include, like what you would study in those courses, but you have to fulfill these requirements, and your counselors will help you meet those requirements. It lays out very nicely over the 4 years, and the minimum of 120 credits is not a problem to meet, including a lot of room for some extra electives for you to take as you become even more an upperclassman. There is an attendance policy that you have to adhere to in order to graduate, and then finally there is a graduation assessment that you take in your junior year and must pass in order to graduate, but don't worry, our programming gets you ready for that assessment, and we will communicate with you over the years with any updates to that requirement, because it's a couple years away. As Dr. Lazovic explained about your schedule, right, you will have 8 courses in a day, or 8 courses that you will take, 6 in a day, but you will take 8 courses over the course of the year in your schedule. You will have an English course, a social studies course, a math course, a science course, or language, health, and physical education. Those are required. You have some choice in what level you take those at, and I'll talk about that in a minute. One of the 2 things you need to think about going into 9th grade is your 2 elective slots in your schedule. You can look through the program of studies for all the different opportunities. You can look through the requirements and things that you're interested in and fill those 2 slots. One of those slots could be with a study hall, and the other would be an elective. And those electives can either be a full year course or 2 semester courses or some combination of those, which Ms. Smith will talk about a little bit more. But that's one of the 2 things for you to think about going into 9th grade is how do you want to fill those elective slots. So our focus is on ninth grade and transitioning to high school and finding classes that you're interested in and that you're prepared for, to find your way. I will talk about a few things that are available to you down the road, just to give you a few things to think about and keep in mind. But there are things that won't be available to you in ninth grade, but you might want to be aware of as you go into high school. And one of those are what we call option 2 and some alternative credit pathways. There are a few ways in which you can earn credit for your high school transcript and towards graduation, other than what we offer here at Ridge High School. One, and the one that is probably the most well-known, is option 2 in physical education. So particularly for Ridge athletes and some off-site programs, you can qualify for option 2 for your PE credits. And then during that time slot, you would have a study hall. That's not available to you going into ninth grade, but becomes available for 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. The other kinds of alternative credit pathways include remediation, should that become necessary, as well as any courses you might want to take at another institution that we don't offer here. And there's a process for that if that's something you're interested in. Somerset County Voc Tech already spoke to the students in the middle school earlier in the year, and you see their deadline was actually last Friday for applying. So I just pointed out to you because they were here tonight for if you had questions for future years or if any slots open up later in the year. And there is some programming information, including this video, posted on this website and on our academic planning website, in case you want to learn more about Somerset County VOTEC. One of the graduation requirements is a semester of financial literacy, and students can meet that requirement a number of different ways. You can take it at Ridge High School, anywhere from 9th through 12th grade. It's a semester course. But I want to make you aware of the summer opportunity that you can take advantage of beginning when you're going into 10th grade. You can't take it before the summer before 9th grade, but you could take it before going into 10th, 11th, or 12th grade. And some students take advantage of this opportunity if they're looking to maximize their scheduling opportunities, and this would free up a slot in their schedule to take another course. So this is the one course we offer that's an online course. Information about it is in that program of studies with applications and all of the dates. There's a couple of things to be aware of. It is a rigorous course with a lot of expectations. It has a lot of assignments that you must complete. It's not an easy online course. And then secondly, and maybe more importantly, is you're required to come into school to take the 2 assessments during the course. And those dates are not negotiable. So if that doesn't work with your schedule, maybe going into 10th grade, it might be a possibility in one of the other 2 years. Again, that's for next year, but something to be thinking about if you were thinking about taking financial literacy next year. This might be a different option for you to consider. The other thing to think about going into 9th grade is for the required programming, what course level you're interested in taking that course in based on what you're qualified to take. So the qualifications for courses can be found in the program of studies, what the requirements are in terms of grades or course preparation. But you want to think about what level you'd like to take the course at, and this gives you a little bit of information to help you consider that. College prep is a rigorous course, challenging, but you can expect some support and guidance from the teacher within the class and a slower pace than the upper levels. You can expect 20 to 30 minutes of homework per night in each academic course. And in the science CP level, I'll talk about this a little bit more, but in our science courses, there is, at the upper levels, an additional requirement for lab time that comes out of half of a unit lunch once every rotation. So once every 4 days, you would spend half of the lunch block in your science class for some extra lab time. But at the college prep level, you don't have that extra time. So CP Science is a 5-credit course, and the extra lab time comes into play when you move to the enriched level. And that extra lab time at the enriched level also makes it worth an additional credit, so it's a 6-credit course. The pacing in enriched is similar to that of college prep, but it's a little bit more content covered, a little bit more independence, perhaps a little bit more homework. And again, like I said, in science, you now have the additional lab time, 1/2 of unit lunch once every 4 days. The honors level it earns a weighted credit for your GPA on your transcript. It is more challenging. You can expect more homework. You're required to do more independent reading and independent work. And in some of our honors courses, there are summer assignments. That program of studies would tell you if the course required a summer assignment. Advanced placement is the highest level of course that you can take at Ridge High School, and it is the equivalent of a first-year college course. It moves at a fast pace, and it is designed to prepare students to take the advanced placement exam in early May. So there is a greater amount of work required to be done outside of class. There is additional homework required, and there is in, I think, every AP course a summer assignment. Again, that would be something to look in the program of studies for. AP courses are not open to students until 10th grade. So between 10th, 11th, and 12th grade, you have a number of advanced placement courses that are open to you to take. Every year, we do make some changes to our programming, largely based on student interest and staffing interest. So for families who are not new to Ridge High School, we put all of those changes on one page so that they're easy to see, and that's called the Amendments at a Glance. It is linked here. It's also in the program of studies. I'm going to go over a few of those changes. I want to highlight the ones that are most relevant for rising freshmen. In the English department, there's only one change, and that's really for senior level English. But I'll just briefly mention what it is, and that's a dual enrollment offering. We have a few courses in the program of studies that students would take at Ridge High School, but that it is eligible for them to earn credit at an institution of higher learning like RVCC, Raritan Valley College, or in this case, in the English course, it is at RVCC. We have a few others in other departments as well that are open to students as upperclassmen. In the math department, we have a few changes, mostly for upper courses, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. There are two new courses. One is enriched geometry, so that level of enriched is now available in geometry. And there's also an honors advanced topics in computing course available. Some prerequisites changed in our seminar courses and in AP Computer Science A. There is some criteria adjustments for students who are looking to level down from pre-calculus to Algebra 3, and Ms. Smith will talk about leveling down in a few minutes. And then for students in 10th grade, there's an opportunity for doubling up, we call it, or concurrently enrolling in geometry and enriched Algebra 2. Why would anybody want to do that? Some students take that path if they're looking to meet the requirements that would enable them to take calculus while they were still in high school. So that would, again, be if that was a sort of path and the right path that somebody was interested in, that's one way that could help students meet that goal. In the science department, these changes are related to physics in the upper grades and updates to our alternative pathways chart, an extensive chart in the program of studies that sort of outlines different pathways students can take to qualify for courses they might be interested in taking later in high school. Social studies is offering one of those dual enrollment courses now in our genocide course, and that's through Kane University. In the visual and performing arts department, there's some changes in requirements for AP Studio Art. We changed the name of Dance 1 to better represent what the course includes, and that is musical theater dance. So that's what that course would focus on, and that's based entirely on student interest. And in the world language department, this year we offered a new course for native Spanish speakers called Heritage Speaker Spanish. And so if you're a native Spanish speaker, this might be interesting to you to consider. And so we're adding a level 2. So we have level 1 and level 2, and those are at the honors level. And those require a placement exam to qualify for. So that's a bit on our programming. I'm going to turn it over now to Ms. Smith to talk about how to do it.
All right, good evening. So you heard from Dr. Lazovic about what the day at Ridge High School looks like. You heard from Ms. Fox about our academic and curricular offerings. And so my job is to tell you how to make those course selections for next year. And to do that, I'm going to go ahead and click on the website that she referred to earlier, the Academic Planning Resource Site. We have created an entire website for you to help you with this process. You'll notice here that we created a 5-step checklist. So I will send this link out to you so that you have this as a family. My message for you and my recommendation is that you take some time to go through this website with your student as a family. This website is appropriate for all students in current 8th grade through 11th grade. So you'll revisit this every year at this time of year when it's time to make your course selections for the following year. So step number 1, we'll review the 5 steps together. Step 1 is to read the program of studies. Yes, it is a large document, Ms. Fox mentioned that. Take some time to become familiar, particularly with pages 1 through 15, where you have all the information about the timelines to make course selections, to make changes, and the deadlines that you need to be aware of related to the courses that you'll enroll in next year. Also in the program of studies are the course descriptions for every course, so you can learn about courses not only for next year, but the following year and your upper class years at Ridge High School. You'll learn about prerequisites too. What are the requirements for entry into those courses, whether they be grade requirements or successful completion of prior courses before enrolling into the next course sequence. We also want you to read the amendments at a glance. So particularly for our families here that this is not your first child going to the 9th grade, you want to be familiar with what the program updates are. Every year we publish this document so that you know at one quick glance the updates that we've made through that massive program of studies document. So take some time as a family to actually read the material. Step 2, talk to your teachers. And by that I mean your students. Have your students start to develop the skill of self-advocacy, of approaching their teacher, of asking questions when it comes to their recommendations. So the 8th grade teachers in each respective content area are going to make the recommendations for the CP level, the enriched, or the honors level for next year. Why are they making those recommendations? Have your students ask. Why did they select honors for me? Why are they recommending CP? If they have any questions, you can reach out, yes, but have your students ask their teachers and engage in conversation with them so that they have the information in mind as they're making their selections themselves. Step 3, you're all here, attend our programming. So we have a flyer here on the website. Last week we launched the website itself. You're here for academic planning night. And then next week we invite you, this is an optional event, but we do understand that tonight is a lot and we're asking you to go home and read further material. So you may have questions, right? So Dr. Lazovic, Ms. Fox, myself, and my team of high school counselors, we will come to the middle school on February 4th from 9 to 11. That is an open Q&A. You are all welcome to come with your questions and we're there to answer. There will not be a formal presentation, but we're there to answer your questions if you have them. Following that, in February through March, the current 8th grade counselors will reach out to your student to schedule a one-on-one meeting. At that point, they will come to the table prepared. I'll tell you how in Genesis in a moment, but that meeting is for the student and their counselor. That's your child's first time really in 8th grade representing themselves. We want them to feel strong and confident, have your backing going to that meeting, your support with what they've selected so that they can speak for themselves, they can ask their questions with their 8th grade counselor. Why do we want them to do that in 8th grade? Because we expect them to do that every year in high school when it comes to their high school counseling experience. So they're going to meet with their high school counselor not only for scheduling each year, but for their post-secondary planning each year. So whether that's college, a 2-year, 4-year school or institution, career, military, whatever their path might be. I'll get into freshman orientation in a moment. But back to our website. We just reviewed step 3, attending programming events. So now step 4, you have the information in mind, you've read the materials, we want you to plan to make your course selections. So to do that, we have a few resources linked for you. The first is a time management tool. This is a tool that pushes the narrative of best fit. We have this phrase, and we mentioned it yesterday to your students when we went to see them at William Annan. We want students to choose a schedule for them that is their best fit. Their best fit will look different from their friends. It should. Right? It's what works for you. Take into consideration all of your requirements, your responsibilities in and outside of the home, your responsibilities related to extracurriculars, what you're involved in. What is a reasonable, a challenging, but a best fit schedule related to CP or honors level courses that you are choosing? We want you to have the strength of a transcript when it comes to applying to colleges, if that's your path. For many of you, it will be. So the strength of that transcript will be successful completion and successful experiences in rigorous coursework, and we want you to be setting yourself up for success. So take some time to work through that time management tool as a family so that you're taking into consideration the total picture of your life as a Ridge High School student. We also have a map there of your 4-year summary. This is an optional document that you can work through, but I have found over the years through feedback from parents that this is helpful. And it can be a fun exercise to not only map out the 9th grade year, but as you're reading through the program of studies and looking at some of those upper level courses, what might interest your student, you can sort of map out what might fit sophomore year, junior year, senior year. It lets your students really develop an understanding of prerequisites and course sequencing in each of the departments as well. I'm going to go ahead and click on a link here, the course selection sheet. This is a document of all of the courses that are available for you and your choosing in the 9th grade. So the program of studies is really a comprehensive catalog of all of our courses. So this dwindles it down to really, get you into the mindset of making those selections for 9th grade of what is available to you in the 9th grade in science, in the 9th grade in English, in the 9th grade in math, and so on. I will tell you that we have built Genesis, the portal, to reflect this document. So when you and your student, when it comes time for that portal to open and for you to go in there and make those course selections, Genesis will reflect what is available to you in the 9th grade. So once you're ready, you've done your planning, you've talked as a family, you've talked to your teachers, you feel really good about your course selections for next year, go ahead and get into Genesis. On February 10th, I will open up the portal for you. What precedes that is your second marking period grade. So you're going to get your report card for second marking period. On that report card, there will also be what's called a mid-year average, a semester 2 grade, or semester 1 grade. That's an average of marking period 1 and marking period 2. That grade is used to determine your eligibility into courses, whether it be CP enriched or the honors level. When you're in Genesis and the portal opens, we will send you a message saying you can now input your course selections. To do that, we have a step-by-step document for you on how to work through Genesis. It is pretty simple. For those of you who would like a video tutorial, we also created a video for you to walk through the process to see the different screens. Any questions that you have, reach out to your 8th grade counselor and they can help you along the way. We are asking that you are doing this prior to your child meeting with the 8th grade counselor. Why is that? To maximize the time together, to help your student feel strong. When they come to the table, they have their course selections, they can have a discussion about why they chose this or that, and that they can ask their questions. The 8th grade counselor will then review all of the courses to make sure that all the graduation requirements for 9th grade are met and that everything looks good in Genesis. Working through the rest of our website, we have the visuals there for you as a reference of all of the documents and resources that I mentioned. Under the presentation section, we will post tonight's presentation and the video there for you if you'd like to refer back to this. When you were in the gymnasium, I'm sure you took in a lot of information from the conversations that you had and the tables that you visited. If you want to further review or go back and revisit anything from any of the departments, the supervisors and the teachers have worked hard to create what we call a video library for you. So for each of the departments, you can click on either a video or a slide deck explaining the course offerings from either a teacher or a supervisor of that area. Based on experience from years of doing this, my team also created an FAQ document, frequently asked questions about the transition itself from middle school to high school and this academic planning process. So take some time to read that, as you likely will have some of those questions yourself. I'll get into detail about these forms in a minute, but I just want you to know that also on this website, and the last thing here, are the schedule modification forms. And so when different opportunities open up for you to make any adjustments to your schedule, the forms that you need to complete, that your student needs to complete each year in high school, are located also on this website. So we reviewed our 5 steps. When you are in Genesis, I do want to make a note. I'm going to ask you to indicate what's called your alternate electives. These are your backups. I need to make a schedule for everybody in this room, everybody in the gymnasium, every sophomore, every junior, and every senior. And to do that, we prioritize seniors first because they need to graduate, juniors, sophomores, and then freshmen. So particularly for the freshmen, I need your backup electives so that if I cannot get you, even though we're really good at getting priority electives for the majority of you, if I cannot get you into your priority elective choice, I need to know what you're interested in as an alternate. Otherwise, I need to place you in where there's an open seat. So I have asked the 8th grade counseling team to make sure that your student has alternates when they are coming to the table. It will be helpful if you come prepared already outlining what your alternate choices are. So keep in mind those alternates. I mentioned the mid-year report card, the marking period 1 and 2 average. That's your grade that makes you eligible for courses beyond the CP level. So you need to read what the eligibility requirements are, and you are only eligible based on this mid-year grade to sign up for classes. So your eligibility may change at the end of the year with that final grade. The message here is to make sure you have a strong semester 2 in 8th grade and strongly in middle school, because then you're setting yourself up for success at the end of the year in case you didn't make the cut at this mid-year point. If you didn't make the cut at the mid-year point, but now you do at the end of the year and you meet the criteria to get into an honors level class, you would complete what's called the change of course request form. This is the form on the website that I showed you previously, and this indicates that you now qualify and you would like to change your course request to get into that higher level course. That's done at the end of June. So you're gonna make your course selections. You have until April 2nd, and then we close the portal. We lock it. Dr. Lazovic, Ms. Fox, and I make staffing decisions along with other administrators, and we section out who is teaching what, where, when for the almost 2,000 people in the building that the staff included. So we close the portal down and we open it up at the end of June for you to fill out these forms. Again, if you've met criteria for an honors level class, then you can fill out the form and indicate that you'd like to change your course request. You may also use this form to do what we call as level down. Maybe you change your mind and that's completely okay. Maybe you don't want to take honors in one area and you'd like to drop down to CP. That's fine. Fill out this form and indicate to the counseling team that you'd like to level down. Any adjustments, we do provide that window in June. Then my team gets to work over the summer and readjust the schedules over the summer accordingly. Perhaps at the end of the year, you still don't qualify. Or you qualify now at the mid-year, but then you lost eligibility at the end of the year. You then, at that point, if you still want to take the honors course, you need to complete what's called the course appeals form. You need to appeal to the administration as to why you should take that course. Maybe there's an extenuating circumstance, maybe there are other factors to keep in mind besides that grade. That decision will be approved or denied pending seat availability. So that's a phrase that you'll continue to hear throughout your time in high school, pending seat availability. Beyond this initial selection of courses, anything is really pending if there's a seat and we can get you in. So make sure that you're really thoughtful about the courses that you're selecting at this point in the year, because there are consequences if you don't meet eligibility later and there are no seats available. Like I mentioned, after all those forms are collected, decisions are rendered by the supervisors in terms of approvals or denials for appeals or change of course requests. Then over the summer, we recalibrate and we redo the schedule to accommodate those requests. We balance everything out, and then on August 26th at 12 p.m. exactly, we open the portal again, and that's your schedule. So at that point in time, you will know the who, what, where, when. You will know which course is happening with which teacher at which room in the rotation that Dr. Lazovic described earlier. We do understand, though, that as you start school, as you start high school, and throughout all your time here, there may be times where you still need to make additional changes. Everything is still pending seat availability, but we do have additional windows for you. The first 10 days of school, you are allowed to level up into a course if you are eligible and there is a seat. You would still need to fill out a form at that point. There will be directions that are sent to you, but we do give a 10-day window for students to be able to do that. If you'd like to drop a course, there are deadlines for course drops where there are penalties such as a W on the transcript. Once you enter high school, you have an official high school transcript that my team, eventually in 4 years, it will come quickly, will send to a college if that's your path. So a W on the transcript is an indicator that you withdrew outside of these deadlines. So that's why it's important for you to keep all of this in mind. If you need to level down, if you're getting adjusted to high school and you need to level down, you have until the end of October, so almost the conclusion of the first marking period, to make that level change. Again, pending seat availability. So it was a lot of information about deadlines and timelines. Everything is on the website. Everything is in the materials, but take your time. Again, like Dr. Lazovic said, and I will reiterate, we will be emailing all of this to you throughout the various points in time so that you can feel really solid about your choices and where you are with your schedule. I want to remind you that next week we are opening up William Annan Auditorium for a Q&A, if you can join us then. On February 10th, I will open up the portal so that you can make your course selections. Following that, your 8th grade counselor will meet with your student to solidify those course requests. And then we also know from Dr. Lazovic earlier that life here at Ridge High School is exciting, and we want you to be excited. And so we encourage you to come to the Activities Fair on April 23rd so you can learn about the different and various extracurricular opportunities that are here for you. Then in August 25th and 26th, we have our Ridge Ready program. So for all of our students who have a special education plan, this is a unique program for them to help them have 2 extra days of support when it comes to transitioning to high school. On August 27th, this is when we open up this room and the school for all incoming freshmen. So that's freshman orientation. Please save the date. You do not want to miss that date. It is a fun, full day of activities. At that point in time, you will have your actual schedule. And so you will be able to walk your path and become familiar with your route that you'll take once the doors open on the first day. New family orientation was mentioned earlier, and Dr. Lazovic's team will send out information for that for the families later on in the summer. And with that, I will pass it back to Dr. Lazovic to wrap up.
Thanks, Ms. Smith. Thanks, Ms. Fox. I know what you're all thinking. I thought you said it was going to be fun. This is just to build your schedule. A lot of information. We work very hard to make sure that you have every opportunity, and this is part of it. And so there are a lot of pieces that go into high school. That's true. We're here with you every step of the way, and we want to make sure that you have a great experience. And so with that, I know it's been a long night, and we're the second piece of that. So we just want to reiterate that we're excited to welcome you in September. And like I said before, don't rush 8th grade. Enjoy the time there. You must have heard 4 or 5 times someone use the phrase, starting with Mr. Thompson, that it's going to go fast, referring to your 4 years here. It does. It does go fast, but that's all the more reason why we have to enjoy it. Parents especially, having been in your shoes, soak in every second. It does go quickly. We want to make sure that you feel good about your decisions here, and you feel good about your decisions moving forward. This is the first step. So enjoy 8th grade. We're going to be excited to welcome you back over the summer. Other than that, thanks for coming out tonight. Have a great evening.